Hi everybody, I'm Mrs. Black from Sun Lake High School. Thank you for tuning in to this small little episode of how to complete your Office of Student Financial Aid application, also called the FFAA application, which stands for Florida Financial Aid Application, or what most high school students and family call the Bright Futures application. I'm here to demyth some things that have popped up over the years as I've been doing this job. I'm the career specialist here at Sun Lake High School, and so welcome to this presentation. There are lots of ways to get to this application, and so I'm gonna just show you a quick, brief way to do it. The easiest way is just to open up a Google box and type in either FFAA, or you can just type in Florida Bright Futures. When you find the website, you're going to go ahead and click on that, and that will bring you to the Office of Student Financial Aid. On that page, you'll see two interstate street signs, if you will. And on the right-hand side, I want to draw your attention to all the items listed in blue. All of these items are programs that this application could qualify you for. If you notice, Bright Futures is one of the programs. There is not a separate Bright Futures application. The Florida Financial Aid application opens every October 1st of a student's senior year, and what that allows the program to do is review the student's high school transcripts at that time. The deadline to apply for the FFAA is August 31st of the student's graduating high school year, but for purposes of being on track, making sure that you're doing everything in a timely manner, you don't let things slip by, I always tell my students, by graduation. You should have this application on file by graduation. If you start the application or you complete the application today, then that leaves the application wide open all year. The information from our transcripts, high school transcripts, the test score banks will be inputting information into the Florida Financial Aid application. So it'll automatically update throughout the school year, and it does that 3 times a year. It updates in October, it updates again in late February, and it will update one more time for the final time in July. That's late July, and all families will be notified in late July of a student's eligibility for the purposes of Bright Futures. So you'll need to be checking your emails to make sure that you are receiving the correspondence from the Florida Office of Financial Aid. When you're ready to start your application, you're just going to click on first-time applicants. All students will enter first-time applicants. The very first box is the Social Security number box. I highly recommend every student enter their Social Security number correctly into this. Why, although it's not required, and why I recommend for this field to be entered is that it's used 3 ways. It's one way that the high school or the colleges or universities or post-secondary education institution can find you. It will find your high school transcripts that way, and it will find your Florida Financial Aid application that way, along with your FAFSA that we'll talk about a little bit later. Everything else with an asterisk is required. So this first page, enter the information very correctly. You don't want to mistype anything, and you want to make sure that your name on this application matches the name that you have on file with your high school. You're going to go ahead and click submit, because all you're doing on this first page is creating a profile. It'll be super easy, just 7-8 quick answers, and now you've created a username and password. So you'll get a pop-up box that will have your pre-generated username and password, and I recommend all students take a picture with their cell phones of this pop-up box so that when you want to go back in and check your application status, or something changed, maybe you moved and you need to change your address, you can go in and make those quick changes. It will probably prompt you to create a new username and password that's more familiar to you, because again, this one is automatically populated for you. It will also give you an option to go back to the application and complete the application, and go ahead and click that button. The rest of the application should not take you any more than 10 minutes max. Biggest thing is you want to make sure that you have your graduation date ready and on file. That'll be a question that it asks you. Go ahead and answer these questions truthfully and honestly. The one question I want to draw your attention to is, are you or one of your natural Hispanic parents Hispanic American or of Spanish culture? Depending on how you answer some of these questions on this pop-up, it could generate other pop-up boxes just to get more information on you. If you answer no to all of these, you would be possibly limiting your opportunity to some of those educational programs I showed you on the right side of that page. The next one will be have you or will you graduate from a Pasco County or a Florida high school? The answer will be yes. And then you want to answer those questions truthfully and honestly. Again, what county, what high school you're graduating from. Then it will start asking you some post-secondary information, like have you graduated with a baccalaureate degree? That answer is going to be no. Are you going in-state or out of state? Even if you are planning to go to school in North Carolina or Georgia or Alabama, I still highly recommend students select in-state and select a school within our state that you will be attending. Just in case something were to happen, you can come back to Florida. You have 3 years and the money will be waiting for you. So I would go ahead and select in-state and select an institution within our state. It will give you the option to select 4 other schools, but you won't need to do that because remember, you've attached your social security number. So when you enroll in a 4-year or 2-year school beyond high school, those your information will link up through your social security number. The last screen will be that you are ready to submit your application. It was that easy. And if you notice at the bottom in red, it says to avoid errors, please select this button only once. Please be patient. Sometimes it takes a little bit for this page to load. And so in order for you not to have errors come up on your end and make it look like somebody else is accessing your account, just hit the select or submit button one time and let it do its magic. A pop-up box will come up that says congratulations, or you've been successful in completing this application. And then you're going to hit the close button. When you hit the close button on your application, you've completed the application and now you have a confirmation screen of your results page. And if you read that page carefully, it'll show you which programs you are now going to be considered when it comes to looking for financial aid through the Florida Financial Aid Office. Again, these are Florida specific programs, and some of these programs may require you to have a FAFSA on file. FAFSA will be a whole nother video, and please make sure to check that out. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you have questions about eligibility for the upcoming years, for Bright Future specifically, I will have a completely separate video on that as well, because the information can be rather lengthy. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions for me, please feel to reach out. Sun Lake students always stop by my office. My email address is rlblack@pasco.k12.fl.us. Again, I'm Mrs. Black from Sun Lake High School. Thank you for tuning in, and you guys have a great day.